So this is our final segment. This segment is called the appeals process to challenging an appraised value that an appraiser brings it in. So if you disagree, you're selling your house or you're refinancing your house and you disagree with the value, Kim and Matthew are going to speak to, what do you do as a consumer lender realtor? The process that we take, it's very specific. When we get a value that doesn't come in, we check with the AMC. AMC tells us what the process is, and the process is a form. And then we tell the realtors, show us the comparables of how you listed the house. And they send us some crazy report of 20 properties that aren't even like the subject. And then we wind up having to get involved to save the day. And then we go dig around for 3 comparables that we feel that the appraiser may have missed, or we go to the report and we look at adjustments that we think are possibly unfair or look for any discrepancies in the report. And then we turn that in and we think we're golden, and it comes back and it's like a big wah, wah, wah. And so on the values, I do win, but the last few years, it's very rare because my perception is the appraiser has to admit they made a mistake on their report. And people don't really like admitting that. So that's my take on it. And that's why I think we hardly ever win. So you guys are the AMCs. You tell me the real deal. Tell us how do we win? How do we crush a valuation reassessment?
So you did a great job describing that, by the way. I don't even know why you need us to go any further. You hit all the major bullet points. You want to condense your appeal to roughly no more than 3 alternative properties of comparables for the appraiser to reevaluate. Okay. First of all, when we board our appraisers, we take great care to ensure that the ones that we partner with are open-minded. They have the same ethics, morals, values, and approach to evaluating properties as we would want for our clients, which is that you are not perfect. You're not going to get it right every single time. So it's part of the questions that we ask when we do onboarding is, what's your take on appeals and valuations, reconsiderations of valuation? So my best advice is to provide data, keep criticism to a minimum, and drive it with data.
I think that's where I mess up.
Yeah.
Make it too personal.
So, look, I've literally I've caught ROVs where it had, scathing letters to the appraiser. And I say, stop, take that out, thank them for their report, and ask kindly, would you be willing to reconsider these additional properties? I loved your report. We're really close. Here we go.
Yeah.
So,
the appraiser wasn't trying to ruin anybody's day, right? On their opinion of value. They weren't trying to be mean. I know sometimes that gets lost in it. And sometimes they can miss data. At Axis, we do see a 30 to 40%, depending on the month, where appraisers do make changes and say, gosh, I hadn't really thought, or I missed that one comparable because it was between MLSs and I was working off this MLS and I missed that one. Or gosh, that listing or that comp you just provided, it wasn't an MLS sale. That's why I didn't see it. But let me call that realtor on that pocket listing and find out about it. They want to dialogue and do their very best job.
You brought up a really good point, because what I tell my people is, don't just look on the MLS. You also have to look at public record to see because not every sale goes on the MLS. Sometimes there are things that are sold between people, or like what you said, off market or pocket listing that gets sold that doesn't go on the MLS. So when you're looking at the value and you're trying to get your value high, you have to look at the public data too.
Right. And the appraiser still would have to validate that transaction through a second source. So a pocket listing, you can call the realtor and get that. When realtors don't put data on MLS, when a sale happens quickly, that actually impacts appraisers' ability to do their job to the best of their ability. So at the end of the day, it's very clear that you all have the right to ask good questions or ask for mistakes to be corrected. And it's our responsibility to make sure that those good questions are answered thoroughly. And that answer may be, I can't change my value and here's why, but you deserve the reason why. Or maybe it's, gosh, that value was slightly lower than it should have been with the new information that's been provided.
Got it.
And then
Well,
lastly,
go ahead.
Adjustments. I know a lot of brokers like to point to the adjustments, but really the closed sales are the driving force. You really get a lot more traction with that. And that's it.
Okay. Well, that was awesome. Gosh, you guys covered so much important information. I appreciate it. My name is Teresa Tims. I'm president of TDR Mortgage and Real Estate Group, and we serve the entire California area and have been originating home loans since 1998, which makes me a seasoned pro. And when I talked to Kim yesterday on the phone, I just found that, well, I like Matthew and Kim is in an industry that is mainly all male. And I thought it was really cool. I've met a few, there's a handful of female appraisers out there, but being that you're at an executive level at an appraisal company is impressive to me. And I just felt like you have such a good grasp on the appraisal challenges, and you're supporting your team and your company. But something you said to me yesterday, I really liked, because I feel like it's how we do our business. And I forget exactly what it is that you said to me, Kim, but it was something about...
at the end of the day, everyone in our company, what we drive home on, between our appraiser panel and our internal staff, is we aren't just doing a transaction. It's somewhere in this process is a homeowner, and that homeowner is either trying to stay in their home through a refinance or get into a home through a purchase. And we need to keep focus on that there's a consumer out there, and maybe they're not going to like all the answers we provide, but they have a right to understand why those answers were provided. And we really strive hard to make sure that they get the best possible experience. It's the biggest, for most Americans, it's the biggest financial anything that they'll ever do. And we try to keep sight on that every day.
That gave me all the feels, because we are boots on the ground. We are talking to the homeowners. We have relationships with them. A lot of people are, past clients that have referred their friends, family, and kids to us. And when we get into these challenges on the loan side, or things take longer and we're dealing with the realtors and the seller, just getting an offer accepted today is like a miracle. And then when we have all these challenges and we're, trying to get people to help us, push these things through, we are reminded on a daily basis that it's just not a file. It's just not an appraisal. It's just not, an escrow, a preliminary title report. It's people's lives. And it's so important that people keep that top of mind. And so I really aligned with you whenever you spoke about that. So I like that. And I'm hoping that we get to work together a lot longer. I think that I'm on my third appraisal with you guys. So we haven't done a lot, but what you've done a great job. And I appreciate the partnership. And I want to see if Matthew or Kim has anything to add.
I just wanted to let your viewers know that Axis really is a community of learners, and we are relationship-based. Part of what's made us successful since HVCC started and we opened our doors was maintaining and making relationships with realtors, agents, brokers, lenders, and appraisers. And that's really our tenet, is to continue to learn and grow. Kim calls us a community of learners. Mm-hmm. She's been an incredible mentor in that facet, and I think it's really helped us to drive our relationships and help them grow.